The lights have dimmed in Las Vegas, marking the end of CES 2026. Our Kim Do-yeon has returned from Las Vegas and joins us in the studio to wrap up the week's biggest trends. Welcome back, Do-yeon.
Thank you. It was a hectic week, but very productive.
I'm sure. Well, Do-yeon, every year there's one buzzword or theme that dominates the show floor. Now, what was the hottest topic of CES 2026?
Well, before we get there, I wanted to sort of show you the numbers. From the latest numbers, although subject to audit, 148,000 people attended this year's event, with 55,000 of them from overseas like me. So it was a massive show, and this year there was a clear trend. If last year was about the software of AI, this year was undeniably about the hardware, specifically robotics. We saw a major shift from digital AI to physical AI. The hottest topic was the humanoid. Companies are no longer just showing prototypes behind glass. They're showing robots that can walk, work, and interact with us safely. Now, I spoke with Brian Comiskey from the Consumer Tech Association, the organizers of CES, and he noted that this year was a turning point for how robots fit into our lives. And it turns out South Korean players also didn't go unnoticed.
I think that what really stood out to me this year was the leap in robotics. Humanoids had quite a big year, with Hyundai showcasing their Atlas humanoid robot. We saw the K Humanoid Alliance from Korea bring together a variety of different startups to really showcase how robotics are getting to this point where they're able to complement human labor and activity, because it's about coexisting with humanity and rather than displacing.
Right, and as he mentioned, the key word is coexisting. The industry focus has moved from robots replacing humans to robots working alongside us as partners.
Coexisting with humanity, that's a very significant distinction. Now, beyond the heavy machinery and robots, Do-yeon, what else stood out? Because I heard there were some interesting developments in the lifestyle technology, right?
Right, and the second biggest trend, for me at least, was the beauty tech. Now, last year, CES actually introduced a dedicated beauty tech category for the first time, signaling that this is no longer niche, it's mainstream. It falls under the broader theme of longevity, using tech to live longer and better. We saw incredible innovations from Korean companies. Of course, K-Tech is a strength for the nation. For instance, Kolmar Korea showcased a device that uses AI to analyze skin and treat scars instantly.
Or one of my favorites was Kolmar Korea did an AI-powered precision scar treatment and coverage system device. So working to the idea that some people, when they want to get that feeling of better, maybe they don't want to have the stories associated with a scar that they have. Well, how about being able to cover it up with a tech device that can precisely treat it? And that's something that Kolmar Korea was doing that I found to be really quite compelling.
You know, that leads us to our final point. You mentioned Hyundai and Kolmar. It sounds like Korean companies had a massive presence there. Now, how did they perform overall compared to the global competition?
Now, they swept the innovation awards. So around 50% of all innovation honorees this year were Korean firms. Whether it was the big conglomerates like Samsung and LG or the startups in Eureka Park, Korean companies were dominant. It wasn't just about attendance numbers, it was about the quality of the technology. When I asked the CTA about the perception of Korean companies, this year they emphasized that Korea is now seen as a hotbed for cutting-edge tech.
Korean innovation showed up, and that was clear in the presence of Hyundai, LG, Samsung. But as I said, Kolmar Korea, Persona AI, Saragem, other companies of all sizes really showcase that Korean innovation is on the cutting edge and is pushing for the entire technology sector.
Right, so to sum it up, from heavy industry to beauty, Korean companies are not just following trends, they're actually setting them now. And for consumers, the good news is that many of these products, including the beauty devices and smart home appliances, are scheduled to hit the global market within the first half of this year. It really felt like the gap between science fiction and consumer reality has finally closed, with technology that feels immediate rather than futuristic. Not walking the floor, the energy wasn't about what might happen in 10 years, but what will be in our living rooms in 10 months.
Do-yeon, thank you for the wrap-up today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.